Hey, good morning. Okay, what's going on, guys? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's take a look at what we got here today, team. A couple things. We actually have a new upgrade to all the order flow stuff. So the heat map, we have a heat map. We've got volume profiles. We've got a new upgrade to the liquidity ladder. You can kind of see it here on the right. That's all happening here today. So the end of the day, we'll have it all updated inside the dashboard. But let's jump right into the charts. So where are we for the week? We're right at our current high of week. Yesterday we ended up, was that yesterday? Yep, yesterday we ended up breaking out. And I believe we ended up taking out the high of day. Yeah, we did. I know that because I took a long into that level. And then we ended up rejecting. Let me go to a smaller time frame real quick so I can see exactly where we're at. It was right here in this area here. So this is, I think this was our IB high or 11 a.m. high. We ended up running it at the end of the day and then pulling right back. And now we're right back to it again. We had a news event, a news catalyst. We ended up getting a spike down, which actually ended up recovering. And now we're just consolidating right now at the yesterday's high. So let's drop our GEX levels on here real quick. Okay, so we got call resistance right around 30,300s and then put support right below at 230s. So we'll be looking to see if we can sustain, if price accepts here above put support, then we can probably see price continue to try to move higher, but we're already at the top of this range. So, you know, we got to be mindful of that. So we've had a big break. What day was this? This was the 13th. This is, what day is it today? The 14th. So that was yesterday. I think this was, 10 a.m. We had this big pump. Actually, we caught that trade. We caught about 500-600 ticks. And then we went sideways. So we have a spike into a range, but we've also been creating this progression here where we've got, it all started technically on the 11th. So we had this move up, consolidate, expansion, consolidation. We're positive gamma today, and we're expecting low volatility. So anticipating more so mean reversion type trading and scalp targets. It is a Friday, so we'll see. We already had our news release. We've got that news wick down below. What is that low? Kind of watch for that as well at 206s. So I guess the main thing right now is just to see how we handle here at the top of this range. Is the top of the range going to end up holding out? Or are we going to see another situation here where we end up getting some further expansion above and try to catch up to the ES, which did reach all-time highs, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday. So as of right now, let's go to a 4-hour chart. Hey, good morning. 4-hour chart. Alrighty. Let's drop our majors on here real quick. Let's get our GEX levels off the chart. By the way, the indicators now have a new toolbar, so that way you can hide, remove certain levels at a click of a button, making it very clean. Got that on pretty much all the indicators here. So watching for this here right now, 250s, as we are trying to, it looks like they're trying to break out, but this is a quite shallow pullback here, and we have this imbalance below. So I guess the main question is, are we going to be able to get an extension here? Is this going to be a shallow pullback grind up type situation, or are we going to see a situation where we do get above, and then from there we'll have to monitor to see how they handle 250. So 250 is that level. If we end up rejecting 250s, then we do have this imbalance here that could act like a magnet for price. So 30,091s. Now let's drop our gamma levels from end of day. And that 91 level does line up with gamma 4 and HVL. So right around 30,100 would be that level. So it's got to watch this cluster here to see if we can get some momentum to our next call wall up at 30,300s. Let's take a look at the Renko charts. And the Renko, the volatility is so low. So on an 8-bar chart, there has not been much movement at all. Let's go to a 32-bar chart. We're just still, same thing, looks like the 4-hour chart. So, at this point, we just need to wait to see how we're going to handle the top of this range here. So we'll just give it some time, let it open up, and then from there we can assess what we want to do. Let me pull up a daily chart real quick. I do want to see the daily chart. So yesterday was a breakout day, technically. We did get that breakout above August 5th's high. So we had been in this consolidation. I know for sure. After this big move up, we were looking for a rotation higher. So from this low, anticipating, like I think this was on Tuesday or Wednesday, the 7th, was thinking we would get that extension right here, but they ended up pulling back one more time. So they gave us a whoop, just kidding, and then now they did it. And so looking at the daily chart, we do have this potential area above 30,592s where they could be trying to go. They did just clear out these levels right here at 85. That was these equal highs here. Actually, we could probably target these right here at 94. So we've already taken that out. And so on the daily structure, we've got this this ascending triangle type pattern. We got this breakout, and they've just been squeezing, and then we just popped. So we'll see if we get a continuation move up higher. Next area of interest on the daily would be 30,052s. So we'll see if that's something that ends up developing here. But we'll have to wait. Can't just be buying highs on the daily here like that. Alrighty. What time is it? We got 2 minutes here till the open. Good luck, everybody. Gonna try to take my 3 to 5 trades here today. See if we can hit our targets and be done early today for a Friday. So gonna be pretty selective, or at least just wait for some setups here and see what we can do. So price right now on the Renko, we kind of created this false breakout here. So we've broken out of our 8 a.m. high. We're currently below the 9 a.m. open, but very, very low volatility. ATR is very compressed right now in the pre-market, even after news. We'll see. Got some large bids coming in around 220s. So our new heat map that we're dropping is going to basically have the book map type looking DOM on the right, which is really awesome. And then we'll have the levels, and these have been upgraded. So now when new levels add, you'll see it when it grows, when the same level continues to increase in size, you'll see it. When we remove the liquidity, you're going to see it. So you'll have that ability to see the pool and the stack of the offers and the bids, which is pretty awesome. All right, let's see if these guys are going to take out the news low down here, 210s. We've got some bids stacking right under it as well. We can see it right here, the beginning to build, but okay, let's see what happens here. Nice little push into the low. Let's see. Big bounce there, recovered already. Yeah, volume's super low today, huh? There's a pop here. Looks like they're gonna try. Let's see if they hold the VWAP. Just watching the support structure here, see if they're gonna maybe stop out some folks, and then maybe we can look for some longs if they can sweep. They're testing put support right now at 30,000 230s. Let's see if they're gonna be able to get through it. Put the hourly chart up. Very compressed price action, guys, for the first minute. Very wicky, as you can see, if you have a 1 minute chart. So just not really trying to jump right in. It wasn't one of those things like yesterday where it just ran 600 ticks. Okay, got some aggression coming now at the lows. They filled that bid. We had a bid here at 220s. They filled that bid, 120 contracts. Not yet, Danny. Not really looking for long to shit off the bands. Probably want to wait a little bit. when we're in a consolidation, right? When we're sideways and the bands go flat, you want to wait for one side to start pushing, kind of like a slingshot, right? So you want one side to just push, 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 and it begins to open up, and then we look for the flip to the other side. But that is, you can't. I mean, it's not just that. Obviously, you got to look at timing of things and then the key levels. So we're just waiting right now because I'm looking at the 9 a.m. Let's go to a higher time frame Renko chart here. So this is where we're at on the higher time frame Renko chart. We're in no buy zone up in here, so I don't really want to buy. You can see they've already tried multiple times to break out. So if anything, I mean, this current structure, I would prefer if we actually did pull back, maybe to our gamma 4, like right around 100s, and then we look for some opportunity. But the fact that they've propped this up since yesterday, I'm wondering if we're going to see like maybe an attempt by the sellers to trade underneath this range, and then maybe we get back inside that range. So right now, the price is migrating from the top of the range to the bottom of the range in a very slow, grindy manner, which lines up with positive gamma environments. Now we're taking out the low. What time was this? It was at that 8:30 low. They just ran the news wick, and we're at VWAP. So there could be an opportunity for a scalp setting up here. You can see them now kind of getting really aggressive here under the band. I like that. We got these bids. The thing is, they just keep filling these bids, right? So they had a 100 contract bid immediately filled. So when they're taking out bids, price just keeps going down and down and down and down until sellers can no longer, since once sellers get tired, and then we want to see them start taking out the offer. So as of right now, we have sellers in control, obviously. We can see the 4-hour, every time frame is bearish at the moment. The 15-minute created what we call a candle 3. So it basically took out the high of the previous high candle and now the low of the previous candle. So an outside bar. So when they do that, that's basically a broadening formation on a lower time frame. And that makes it very difficult because it's not a trend. It's they're basically expanding volatility right now because we're so compressed. So this is kind of what we want. We go from a compression state and then to an expanded state. And how they expand price or how they expand the range or volatility is going to be either it's going to be straight impulse where you get that just straight move and then that's it, or they're going to start doing, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows. If you look at a chart, so on the 30-minute chart, that's kind of where we're at right now, what they're doing. So we're going to see if they're going to come back to the bottom of the range or if we begin to start seeing some support. So our 30-minute, I'm using a 30-minute anchored profile here on the left, and then I have my DOM on the right. So here we go. We have some bids here at 18. Let's see if they're going to fill these bids. So we're just waiting right now. There's no rush. Price is obviously selling off at the moment. And that 4-hour did give us a very, very shallow pullback yesterday. So maybe that's where they want to go. Retest those lows around 100s. So we'll probably at this point just let the 15-minute candle close, do its thing. So we get a candle 3. Then this next candle could either be a continuation trend candle, or we end up kind of going inside for the next 15 minutes after expansion. Sometimes you'll see, unless it's like continuous expansion, continuous strong trend. Right. So if you pull up a 1-minute chart, that's what you see right now. It's just continuous lower lows and lower highs on the 1 minute. So maybe the next 15-minute bar will give us an inside bar, or we get continuation. We'll see. So we pick it out, put support. We're testing our settlement price. And let's see how we respond here. So that was a pretty nice dump there. So let's just kind of look at that structure at the open. So we had a lower high, higher low, lower high, and then we cracked. Now we got this trend line overhead. So then we got this bid stacking. So maybe this is where they're going to try to come and retest put support. So we'll watch and see. So I'm watching this area right here, this price at 80s, give or take, 75 to 80s, to see if this is going to end up acting as support right here. It lines up nicely with our 6 a.m. open print. So basically 177s, give or take. So we'll see if we can actually start seeing a rotation here not going to jump right in just yet. I mean, very rarely do we get just a straight V reversal like that. I mean, it is more common so at the open on the Renko charts, but I'm going to anticipate that maybe we get a retest of these lows or something like that. So watching here, there's a VWAP right here at 218. We'll see if they're going to get to those get to that VWAP. So watching here as they come back into put support at 2230s. If they're going to be able to reclaim. Let's take a look at the big Renko chart. Big Renko chart trying to make a recovery here after failing at the super trend. Let's see if we end up getting back above put support here. I was thinking that they were going to try to get to this next rotation around 157s. They could still do it. I'm going to try a scalp short here in case we end up failing. So watching this Renko chart here to see if we can flip bearish here. So I'm in short right now. Well, I gotta put the right account on here real quick. All right, we're in short and add a second contract there. Let's see if we can get that move. Okay, watching to see if they're gonna break out from here or what. It was a nice little trap there. Still in trade. Just watching to see if they're gonna hold this structure. Okay, I'm gonna cut the trade there for 100 ticks. See, we maybe get that continuation. It could still happen. It could still reject off this put support area, but we'll see. We did just pull back to the support area, so I mean, technically, I was looking at that support around 75s, give or take, which was the 6 a.m. open. So that's why I'm not really trying to hold this. If they're going to reclaim that what level was that? It was the 200s they reclaimed. We'll see. Back above, put support here. So So watching now, 250s. So we did just break back out. So let's see if they're going to be able to hold this, or if we end up trapping here and then we end up getting, let's just draw a little trend line here. We end up getting this type of situation here. So we got this bullish trend line beginning to build here, and we got positive gamma overhead. So we'll see if they're going to use this gamma here to maybe give us a pullback. And then if so, one of two things will happen. It either hold and we get another leg up, or it fails and then we can look for a retest of the lows. But we're already migrating to the other side of the bands. So we just watch and see what happens now. The 30-minute, it looks like all the time frames are bullish except for the hourly. Hourly still needs to get back above. It's 9 a.m. open. And there's a full recovery there from the lows. So that pullback that I tried to get short into was actually a trap. They recovered right here. And that was the move right there to get long. Got some large size around 300s. So watching to see if they're going to pull it up now to call resistance at 300s. There's our opening range. That is a nasty 15-minute candle. That 15-minute candle. Look at that wick on that 15. Let's see if they're going to drive through the opening range high now. There it is. Should have flipped long on that freaking little rotation right here. Back to the highs. And I guess the next area here, we'll see if they're going to get the call resistance. We'll see if we get trend or just mean reversion. We'll see what happens here. So far, it's been a mean reversion type scenario. We pushed down lower. Now we're back to the other side of the bands in the opening range high. Let's see if they're going to break out here. Or do we go back to the other side of the band? Just in case it's mean reversion, I will give it a shot here for a quick scalp short. Let's see if we get a move back to the other side of the band. If they do snap it back up inside, I'll close the trade. $50 pulling back to the VWAP, stopped already at break even, just in case this is just a pullback and they want to rip it higher. Okay, my trail is tagged out on that. See if we get our continuation move here higher. In long. Look and see if we can get back above opening range high. Up 40 ticks. Let's see if we can actually sustain this move. You can just see how price is just like being dampened at the moves. Whenever we move up, it dampens. There's 75 ticks. Looking to see if we can take out our overnight high here. Hourly's now bullish. Well, we need to see a little bit more conviction here at these highs if we're going to see anything meaningful. We're trying to get to call resistance, maybe. Okay, it's a failure again. I'm going to cut that one. So 2 trades right now. Second one was a cut. It was a break even. It was a short. The third trade was a long. That was also a small cut there. Did I take a cut on that one? Yeah, took a cut on that one. We're still holding up. Watching the 250 level here. See if they're going to continue to hold price here. So we're right back at the 9 o'clock or 9:30 open print. We failed again at the top of the range. So let's see if they're going to end up taking it back down again. So let's see if they're going to be able to bust through these lows here. Watching here. If this pops right back up, then this is just another double test pullback type situation here. So they're holding that put support level at the moment. Okay, let's see if we get that move. So I'm short, but it's still very likely that they can pull back right here and take it back up. And that's exactly what they fucking did. Jesus. That VWAP there, yeah. Small cut on that one. Chop City, man. Jeez. Let's make up its mind. I wish it would just like give us a clean move like they did yesterday, but as of right now, they are just pressing here at the top of the range. So we had a nice little M pattern. Let's see if this is a failure and they end up taking it back up now. But I mean, I've already tried a few times here. I tried the first long here and then pulled all the way back to my entry. Got the short here for 50 ticks and then pulled back to the entry. So right now they're just hanging out. We just got to give it some time here. Let it decide what it wants to do. Mean reversion day. It's beginning to press here. Let's see, maybe might be ready. I don't know. Failing it again, bro? Come on, man. This 30-minute auction looks like it's just could probably end up as a doji. Hmm. Seeing if the ES is going to give us a push here. No, not looking good. Yeah, let's not fight in this range. Let's just let it do its thing a little bit here. You gotta just let it, this 30-minute candle to close, and then we figure out where we're going next. So we're just gonna see if we get, maybe they're gonna end up retesting the 200s, give us that retest of the low after the drive down. Or if they continue to consolidate here, we do just need to see price like just accept above the opening range. But they've already tried a few times here to get back above and couldn't do it. So, but they're holding BWAP. So right now it's kind of like no edge right now. It's just choppy, choppy, choppy. Moves to the low, get absorbed. Okay, now we're touching our bottom band here, so we'll see if we get extreme or and then a bounce back in, or if we end up getting that retest of the low. Okay, there's the extreme. Okay, that I'm gonna try. Let's see if this is gonna be a little pop here. We'll see what happens here. They may want to come back down one more time to 200, so just gotta be mindful of that. Get back outside the band, I'll cut the trade. They're not getting that pop. Looking for a reclaim of put support here, but we're not even able to get there. Staying heavy. Look at the book map. Watching 25s to see if they can stay above. Okay, let's see if they can get now back above and stay above. Okay, a big sweep there from 10 o'clock news. Still in the trade. Keep my eye on that 4-hour chart here. See if they're going to be able to do something here on the 4-hour. If we can start getting push here after that sweep underneath 225s. Just waiting, watching this big Renko to see which way we're going to go. If we can get a close up back above open print, then that becomes easy for us. Then we can maybe see price use this as a potential squeeze opportunity like that. See, we get that bar up here, and then we got to get back above New York Open. So we're trying to get back above New York Open at 237s. We got to get through this and then through this high here. Come on, there we go. You can do it. So I got to get price above 65s. So we're in the trade, we're in long, but we're not really getting that convicted move, that strong move. So bottom band, this was basically the type of scenario where you, in this market, the bottom band, top band, right? So, I mean, we got extreme here, especially with the news. They did push pretty hard, but they couldn't take out this low. So that was actually good. I stayed in the trade, had a decent stop loss. I left it under 200, so right around 200s. We did have this large bid here. So I was just watching that area there. I mean, still not sure if this is going to go higher, but at this point, we're just going to allow price to work and do what it needs to do. I'll put my stop right there for the next flip, because if it does end up coming back here, it just creates another extension down. I don't want to be in a trade at that point. So we'll see here. Probably gonna take my stops break even now. We're up 80 ticks as we approach the major 250 level. And then we just try to get a test of opening range high, see what we can do to recover some of those initial cuts that I took. See what happens here. 4 hour, if we can get back above the opening range high, then maybe we get an extension now on the 4 hour to 30,300s. And that would be the ideal situation for a larger move. ATR 648 ticks here on the 4-hour chart. What did I just say? 640 ticks? Yeah. So that gives us enough to make at least 300. So we're in now at the 4-hour wick. We're right around the 4-hour opening price, but let's see if it can sustain a move to opening range high. Took me a few attempts here to get this trade. But this type of market right now is not something I probably want to be fighting because it's already been pretty challenging, right? So I need to see it get directional. It needs to get directional now. So I want to see this thing clear the opening range high. Once it clears the opening range high and can stay firm, then the market price action becomes better quality, and then it makes sense for us to continue to participate. But if it's going to be like this on a Friday, I don't want to be stuck in a situation where it's like this all day. You know what I mean? And then you end up just fighting this market that isn't going anywhere. There's 160 ticks there. Let's go back to the big bar Renko chart, because this is the most important thing right now. Is as we approach this breakout level where we've been failing. We failed already like 3-4 times, right? So we have to be mindful of that because we're approaching that same level. It's 273. So we'll watch 273s. Let's pay attention to the order book here. We have a contract right overhead. They're stacking the offer. So we've got a cluster now, right? So that's good. And they are aggressively buying. So let's see if they sustain the buying. So let's watch what happens here if we can push to these offers. Going to trail. And just leave our trail on at this point. I'll probably just, yeah, I'll just leave the leg right there, the open print. So 263s is a tough level here. It's a failure level. We've been failing left and right. So let's see if they end up failing again. Lift my desk, guys. They're stalling here, right at 263. He's probably going to take the partial here. Oh, damn. What just happened here? Oops. Okay, sorry. My monitor, just something happened there to my screen. I don't know what happened. Okay. Careful about Brian, this breakout here. It's already struggling. Bro. Yeah, rejected there again. at the opening range high. Tagged out on my freaking trail. I was hoping for that move. We didn't get it. So looking at what the market's been doing here for the first 40 minutes or so, it's basically ranging. It's a range, right? We're just caught in the opening range. So until we actually get some movement outside of it, then we need to respect the fact that we're in a range and we just need to take profits. So at this point, the key is you're going to wait for price to get away from the middle of the range and then take your profits as price moves back into the range. So that's pretty much what the initial entry was right down here. This was the range. We came to the extreme and then we got to the other side. Should have took profit, but I was anticipating that we would get an extension above. We didn't do it. And then now we're back to the bottom of the range, or middle of the range, I'm sorry. But I'd be very careful buying here again. I don't know. I just don't trust it right now. I don't trust it. 220s. Let's see if they're going to take out the 220s. These guys here. They got this low. So right now, I mean, they're just trapping both sides. I mean, we got a Johnny Cage, right? They took out the high, they took out the low. They actually gave us a lower low. This is, right now, this is the low that's protected right here, 200s. But it could be taken like this. 1 hour, tried to get above the prior 1 hour high, couldn't do it. So we're still inside. The 1 hour candle is still inside. 30-minute candle still inside. When I say inside, it's inside the previous candle. That's weird. This monitor's not working. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so just watching here, 200, 220s when we come and test it and see if we get a breakdown, and maybe they try to push back to the opening range low at 170s. Or if they're going to continue to hold this level here. Lots of selling happening down here at this area, the bottom band. So we're testing again to 10 o'clock open. We went above the 10 o'clock open. Now we're below the 10 o'clock open. Still very choppy, guys. We're just waiting to see if they're going to get to the opening range low or what they're going to do. We're beginning to break down here, so just be mindful of that. So I wouldn't do any mean reversion trades just yet. Price is breaking down. A lot of selling here on this auction. Current delta is over negative 12,000 so far for the last 18 minutes. So sellers have dominated this, obviously. Once we got back underneath the open print, we rejected a VWAP. And now we're beginning to create that lower low. So we got this low. Now we have a new lower low. So opening range low looks like that's where they're going to try to go now. And if they do start getting aggressive to the downside, then the magnet would be the imbalance around 30,100. So just be mindful of that. That's kind of what we're saying that they could have done, or it could be a potential situation here. So we'll see if they end up, how aggressive they're going to sell into this area here. Just waiting, guys. Just letting price sell off, do what it needs to do. So didn't get into the short. I had the idea that we would probably end up pushing higher if we were to accept above the opening range high, and it didn't happen. So now we're selling off and we're trending lower. So it's gotta wait, see what they're gonna do here. So missed this opportunity to get short, but that's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. It's got to be patient. There's always an opportunity. There's always a setup eventually, right? So no need to have FOMO and try to like jump into another trade right away. Just gotta let it do its thing. Let me put my desk back down. Nice cluster here down below. Some bids stacking between 140s down to 120s. And we have a pretty large bid down at 30,100s. That was kind of the level we were talking about. We'll see if that's where they end up going. So they got to get through all this first, though. Got this cluster happening here on the book. Let's see, 78 contracts just executed on the offer. Let's see, is that enough, or is this guy going to get stuffed? Let's try 150s. Let's stay in heavy here. No pops, no pop. 150. 150. Let's see what happens here. 150. There's 1030 open. Watching 150. They're still staying heavy. IB lows at 134s. So they're going to probably run the IB low first. So just watching here. We're back under 150s. I'm going to cut the trade in the meantime. Just trying to catch a little pop there just in case. Just in case this cluster was going to hold up. But market staying heavy, guys. So I think they're going to clear out this low, these lows. Be right back, gang. Give me a few minutes. There's 150 again. Looking at 150s one more time here. Stops will be 125, right long. $150s. Remember 150s. That was the level I was interested in. And then below that would have been 120. What was this price here? About 121s. And if those levels don't hold, then we just basically wait till we get to Gamma 4. But we'll see what happens here. Looking for a move back to high day, guys. So we'll see if we can catch a rotation here. Catch a ride. See if we can catch a ride. Tightening stops now, up to 134. Actually, I'm just going to go break even under 0 gamma. And if we don't get a continuation push above 75, because we're at the opening range low, so I mean, it could just reject here and come back down again, then I don't want to be in the trade anyways at that point. Because then this would basically be a deep pullback, and then we get a retest of the low and then continue lower. Because remember, currently all the time frames are bullish except for the 15 and 30 minute. 30 minute just opened up, right? The 1030. We just ran to Ivy low, and now we're above the open print, but we'll see if they accept. We'll see if they accept here. Proper stop should be below our breakout candle here. So we'll see if we can stay above 35. So it'll be a manual cut if we start flipping though. I'm gonna increase my volume. Volume is pretty thick today on the big trade. So I'm gonna change my settings from 50 to 100 for my tier 1. And then 200 for tier 2, 300 for tier 3. And that way we can reduce some of the amount of bubbles on the chart, because we don't need to see every bubble. We're stalling here at the opening range low. Buyers beginning to fill here at 160s. So 150 is the level I was interested in. But I don't want to see them close back under. If you close back under, then they'll be probably pushing lower to 125s or 100s for Gamma 4. So we'll see what happens here. There's 100 ticks. Got some offers stacking up top. So if we can start taking out these offers, that means that the buyers are ready to start getting aggressive and hit the gas pedal. But let's see if we can even get there, right? We got those offers stacking around 190s, 195. So far, we're unable to even get back above the opening range low. I was hoping that we get an acceptance back inside, but it doesn't look like it. Hmm. $150s test. Are they gonna take out the low? What are they gonna do? Big dump there. Watching the book map here. Watch 150s. Unable to hold up above 150s. They're trying again. They're gonna get rejected. Watching. Big breakout. Big failure there. Let's see if these sellers can, if the buyers can absorb that big dump that just happened there. Not really seeing the aggression here. I don't think so. Come on. Just a little bit more. There's an offer for 145 contracts that just came in. That's on the offer. Let's see if the buyers are able to take it out and not get stuffed. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Watching that offer. You see that offer in the book at 155? They just took it out. But that could be used to just trap the buyers or exhaust the buyers, and then we see price unable to continue higher. But I'm still in my trade. I added actually a contract on there, so let's see what happens here. We'd have to get back for this to actually get back in play for the buyers to get back in control. I need price back above 170s. Okay, need to get price back above 170s if we're gonna have a chance here. But if they come back down to under 150 again, then no longer interested in staying in the trade. Yeah. Not looking good here. Come on. Yeah, they rejected there that 170s. Let's see. They have one more chance to try. This is the open print at 30-minute, the 10:30 open. 170s is also the prior 4-hour candle low. You can just see this is what's been acting as resistance right here on the 1 minute. The 155 is now the POC of the session. Yeah, doesn't look like we're gonna get it. That's it. They failed there. We're still holding that low, but they could displace through this low here. So 150s again, unable to hold. This might be the cut. And they're just selling hard into this area here. Watching Bookmap again. They're trying one more time. Just waiting to see. Nice, but is this going to be sustainable? That's always the question. Is the move sustainable? Are they going to sustain the move? So I do like they've tried multiple times under 150. They spent time under 150. The sellers tried twice getting under 150, but they've not been able to stay under 150s. But we also haven't been able to get acceptance above 175. So we're still in this battle, in this consolidation here. So this is what I'm watching here on the 1 minute chart. It's not even about 1 minute charts, just the overall price level that we're just basing. So below 125, we remain bearish. Above 180s, we begin to start seeing a bullish recovery. Currently in the middle of this range, so 150 seems to be like the midpoint. Feels like they're going to take price, take out those equal lows down below. Well, we got a 5-minute close, or 15-minute sweep of a low, but we got a gap up above, so this could be a magnet for price to push up into. Let's pull this up here. What price is this? 176s, but then we got to watch out once we get to 176s. Major positives way up top, but we got major negative right below at 3093s. And the bands are getting real compressed here. Let's go back to our 32 bar chart. 32 bar is struggling here at the mid. And we still have those lows that they have not taken out. So we got to be mindful of that. Back at 150s again. Are they going to finally let go of 150? Buyers are just not getting anything above 150 at the moment. So means they're probably going to go lower first. I'm gonna cut this trade if this thing doesn't do what it needs to do here. Yeah, I think it might be over here. Look how clean they're making these lows look. I know they're gonna want to run it out. Jeez. I'm still in it though. It's getting real tight here. So we built some some balance here. So let's see if they're going to do a situation where we got this internal consolidation here, got this expansion to the downside. So yeah, this, oops, 1 minute chart. We got this move down into this range, and now we're just really getting tight here. And so maybe we get another move lower and then go higher. So that's something we may need to consider. So I will probably end up just cutting this trade here if we start getting back on our 150s. Because after a pop like that, it would be a failure by the buyers. I'm just cutting the trade right now. So take that scratch. Take the scratch. And wait for the next 30 minutes, and then we'll probably be done here. Down $400 per my accounts. So try to limit my losses on a Friday to about 600 per account. So that way we can go into the weekend, you know, even keel. Or are still kind of just hanging out at the lows of this base that we have. So just trying to see if they're going to displace through that low. We have a swing low on the 4 hour price points at 126s. So just trying to see if they're going to clear that out or what they're going to do, as they are just kind of compressing right above the opening range, the initial balance low. So 150s, kind of like that midpoint. So watching for 125s down to 100s. And maybe that's where they're going to probably take this thing. So we'll see. So buyers did fail there again above 150. Multiple failures by the buyers. So they had an opportunity here, and they couldn't even get back above. So that's why I was calling for 170. A reclaim of 170 would make this bullish, but they couldn't do it after like 3-4 attempts. Think of it kind of like a latch. If we could just get above it and hold, then boom, we could start climbing the ladder up. But they tried once, couldn't reach, twice couldn't reach, another time couldn't reach, and this time they just displaced through these guys here, right? So that's the problem, this candle here. So this would have been the turning point. They could have done it, they didn't do it. We've got 5 minutes left here for the 30-minute candle to close. So this auction will be completed, right? Then the next auction, maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe they take it down one time, try to probe the low, can't do it, reclaim 125, and then from there push higher. Or if it wants to stay heavy and kind of stay in sync with the 4-hour chart, then that's fine too, right? The 4-hour can obviously do whatever it wants. Still pretty bearish. Let's pull that daily chart one more time. It's my daily chart. So we just swept the lows there. Let's see. And that open on the daily is at 210. So let's see if we can. I mean, we were just looking for a move back to call resistance at 300s, but I don't know if we're going to get that today. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna probably need to like trade lower. I think the 100s is probably where we gotta go. What we would need to do is see price like go pretty aggressive to the 100 level, and then from there try to reclaim that level, and then we look for a fail breakdown. That would actually that could make sense if this is gonna turn. If it's not gonna turn, then it would just break the 100s and just stay heavy and not accept. You're short at 146. Okay. Short at 146. Cleotis. What's your target? 92s. That's a good target. Let's see what happens, buddy. Let's see what happens there. I'm not shorting this. Not yet. It's not an area where I like it. I don't feel comfortable shorting at the base here. But it could break out. If it breaks out, you'll get that extension. So let's see. 93s is major negative. So that could be good. That could be good for you there. All right, let's watch what happens here. 5 minute looks like it's getting heavy. Yeah, that was a nice little breakdown here, and then you can see them beginning to stair step down. We'll see what happens. Hope the trade works out there for you. It's a good entry. Once we failed back underneath that 150 level, that was it. There you go. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Cleotis. There's 125s. Can we get down to 100s for Cleotis' sake? Let's see if they can get down to 100s. Hourly strong close down there on the 1 hour candle. So let's see what happens. I just don't like this area, so I can't short it. So the 145, 150s, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, it's definitely a good setup for sure. Like, it's just not, I don't know. This isn't really my cup of tea at the moment. Maybe I'm too fixated on the higher time frame being overall bullish. But I also know that this shallow pullback on that 4 hour. Obviously, the shallow pullback is vulnerable. Buyers are vulnerable there, so they can totally get liquidated a few times. You know, got that imbalance down below, so that move back down to 100s, which is gamble 4. You know, we got that low on the 4 hour. Well, they just swept that low on the 4 hour. So it makes sense. Makes sense. Now let's see now here. We got a little pop. Let's see if these sellers just come back in and slam the bid and get that move back down to 100s. Let's see. So underneath 34s, if we stay and accept below that, then this becomes a possible area where we can start seeing price accept below and we start pushing lower. Well, we're just like in a hamburger right now. So we just attempted to break under 125s. Let's see if they're gonna stay below 125. Be careful here. The 11 o'clock open at 122s. They did pull back into it once. Sellers did try. Let's see if they can get back under. Nice. There we go. There's the break. There's the pullback. Do we get that extension now to 100s? Watching. Every time frame is bearish now, guys. So we got continuity to the downside. It's looking pretty good for that move down to 92.88. Our major negative plus to 100, which is gamma 4. 15-minute charts just all bearish. The 125 acting as resistance. Just watching. Just waiting for them to get to the 100 level and then seeing what happens if we get a reaction of some sorts. we get to 100s and we get a decent reaction, maybe there could be an opportunity for a scalp to get long. But just waiting. Playing with this 125 level. Let's see what they're gonna do. They need to take out 100s already. Stacking that bid down below at 100. It's looking nice. Got 300 contracts hanging out down there. Good morning. Good morning. We're waiting for Cleotis' trade to work out here. See if we can get down to this area. 100s, 92s. They are stacking even lower, so that's good. And lower, 30,000s. And then we wait to see if we get some type of reaction. Price staying bearish. Lower lows, lower highs. Market structure staying bearish. 11 o'clock candle bearish. 4-hour bearish. Daily candle is bearish. Now we're moving into the bids here. Let's see what happens as we start approaching the bids. You can see them on the Renko chart on the right. We got our ladder showing us the cluster. 300 contracts here at 100s. So let's see if they can get right through that and fill those bids. Yeah, we're testing the 100s. Did we actually tag the 100 level yet? Not yet. We're about to. Let's see if they can do it. Hmm. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Turn the camera off. Figure you guys don't want to see my face while we're just doing nothing. So we'll just hang out here. Is watching. It's a slow, controlled grind, right? Slow, controlled grind. Nice. There's your target, Cleotis. Good work, buddy. Good short there, my man. If you guys haven't logged into the dashboard, app.dynastytradingsystems.com. Got a bunch of new things dropping over the weekend, so just make sure you set your account up if you haven't already. Bunch of stuff. All right, so I'm curious to see what happens now that we've made it to the other side of our band. We're also at GEX4. I'm curious to see if we get a reaction. So I'm going to be watching this zone here to see if they're going to do something, or if this ends up just continuously going lower. So our expected move to the downside is 29,852s. To the upside is 576s, and I think we're literally still within the midpoint of that. Yeah, we're still within the midpoint, but we are obviously moving towards the lower part of this range. So we shall see. We did have this breakout area here. So this whole region here was that area where we consolidated for a day and a half. We broke out, and then they consolidated here. And we're technically still within the range, right? If we look at the bigger picture, we're still at the bottom of this range. So we don't want to we don't want to forget that, So maybe it could be a test of the range here, and then we start seeing price maybe continue to trade back in again. So we'll see if they end up just taking out the stops here and we come back inside our 125 level, and then maybe we start seeing price move back towards the middle of the range again. So we're just kind of chopping around in a higher time frame range, but that move back to the lows did produce a pretty nice, let's see how many ticks that would have given here, about a 350 tick move from that break. At one proper entry, tighter entry would have been around 168 on that break. Well, we shall see what they do here at Gamma 4. Gamma 4. Good work, buddy. Bingo. Exactly. Good job. Very nice extension, man. From this level, about 242 ticks. But just not like the cleanest. Not the cleanest. But we did respect we did respect our 50, and so I mean that's pretty straightforward. We could have just trailed that. And let's see what they're gonna do. We're at this important area of interest. Are we going to see price give us a reaction? So far, no. We just tagged it, no reaction yet. We got the prior week high right around 73s. So it looks like that's where they want to take this thing.